Hey guys, it's Pam. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. We are still here at Bent Branch Meadows with Galvin and his little wind-up moogle. Actually, I'm going to do a little minion roulette and see who I get instead. Oh, we have wind-up Fran, so we have two Viera. She was from the collector's edition for Shadowbringers, I believe. I'm pretty sure anyway. So we have the boy and the girl Viera together. They only had, when they came out with the Viera race, they only came out with women. And it's like, why must it be gender locked? And then I was just seeing bunny ass literally everywhere, which was frustrating. And then they, surprised, just before Endwalker announced that they were putting out the male Viera. And it was like, oh my god, yes, thank you. They're so cute. You have a delivery for me? Ah, this is the shipment I was waiting on from Quarry Mill. I heard the wagon ran afoul of some great monstrosity just up the path from the mirror planks, but I see you've managed to scrape together a few bits and pieces. Seems I can't get through two bells these days without hearing some new tale of horrors in the D-craft or bandit cutthroats prowling the woods hereabouts. Makes me wonder if the chocobos are safe at night, it does. If we're ever in need of adventurous skills, I hope you'll be around to lend a hand. I really just want to make her so southern. What'd you go and cut me off for? You'll see like random conversations with the little unnamed NPCs, which kind of makes me laugh a lot. See, there's a girl Viera. We have boy Viera. No, oh please, gods, no! Leia's egg. Galvin, you must help me. I stepped out of the stables for but a moment, and when I returned, it was gone. What was gone? An egg? Sorry? You're sure the chocobos will lay another? Oh, he's responding to whatever you say. What was gone? An egg? An egg! Sorry. God, I really want to nail this. I don't know why. What was gone? An egg! Sorry, you're sure the chocobos will lay another? God, you don't understand. The egg is extremely valuable. I must find it. You will help me, won't you, Galvin? Oh, thank you, thank you. Someone must have made off with it. There can be no other explanation. I shall scour every elm of the stable once more just to be sure. While I do so, I should be very grateful if you would ask the others if they noticed anything unusual. So, instead of having you speak or have dialogue, they will have NPCs respond to you as if you spoke, which I guess gives you, the opportunity to put in whatever you feel like you said. A chocobo egg has gone missing. Well, let me think. Now that you mention it, the chocobos were making quite a racket earlier. So much so, in fact, that I ran over to check on them, almost flattening a passing peddler in my haste. I didn't find anything out of the ordinary, though. Could I describe the peddler? Oh, he was an Ellison fellow. Didn't recognize his face. Seemed awfully twitchy. Oh, gods, you don't think he... Why in the hell didn't I accost him? Yeah, well, we all make mistakes. I should have paused to at least have something to drink in between last episode and this one. But the only thing that I did was stop to get a screenshot for the thumbnail. I'm gonna drink something right now. Have I seen any odd characters about? Aside from yourself, you mean? Not that I recall. I did see someone calming the birds, but only from a distance. I assumed it was Lucolo. But if you say he was away from the stables at the time, then who was that with the chocobos? Quello? Lucolo? I don't know. Where am I going? Oh, I should have talked to that guy before, but oh well. A guard over here. Ew, Mond. See anyone acting suspicious? I most certainly did, lad. A man it was, running off towards the Tom Tara Deepcroft. You say an egg was took? Then I'd say that there was your culprit. But why would anyone pinch a chocobo egg? Without the proper learning, it's damn near impossible to get one to hatch. chocobo. And so this is what I found, and you see, and there can be no mistake then. The egg was indeed stolen. And from what you've told me, this was no simple robbery. That the culprit should take only Leia's egg and disregard all the rest tells me that we're dealing with someone well-versed in chocobo breeding. I'm sorry to say that the individual in question is like to be a citizen of my native Ishgard. Leia, you see, is of the bloodline of Oranos. Oranos? One of the greatest birds ever to grace an Ishgardian stable. Many a man in my homeland would give his right arm to possess one of Leia's eggs. Gods, I should have foreseen this. We must give chase at once. Hold your chocobos, Lucolo. If the egg thief's from Ishgard, like you say, why'd he go running off towards the Tamtar Deepcroft? Unless I've got me mental map upside down, that's the opposite direction. Well, yes, but he may seek to lay false trail, or... bah, the why of it is not important. Leia's egg is all that matters. Adventurer, I beg of you, hunt the scoundrel down and take back what he stole. Well, at least you ain't planning on chasing him after him yourself, whatever he's from. Boy, I really said that well. We may work wonders with our birds, Galvin, but acts of dare and do ain't exactly our field. If you don't mind, we'll leave that end of things to you. With luck, you may catch the thief on the road to the Tamtar Deepcroft, but do be careful. We cannot be certain he's working alone in this. Well, we're not going into the Deepcroft to get this guy, which is good, because we would not be able to do that alone, especially not at this level. Besides, that is not where the source of the problem is. There's other things happening there, as I was referring to. What the? Oh. My kitty cat. One of my kitty cats. I have two. Anyway, we're heading back down in this direction. Oh, I forgot there's like two... I don't know if they're supposed to be windows or what. I think that's supposed to be like parts of Spirit Hold. It doesn't really matter. It's just me, like, looking around. I love this world. I love how thoroughly thought out it is and planned. Like what they did with, especially after the first iteration of the game, just was not working. What they did to basically recreate it and make it better in every possible way, from combat to everything else. Oh, shush. Go away. I don't want to deal with you. At least that Fate's not over here right now. That's why those symbols are here, by the way. The dungeon symbol and then the smith. I'm going to have to take care of at least one of those before I do this thing. I'll do this duty. Duty. We'll learn more about the smith later on. Or I think that we were briefly introduced to the smith before. They're basically a tutorial to help learn how to play different classes. So they're really nice if you're not familiar with an MMO, or you're not really sure how to play a certain, like, maybe you started out as a DPS and you want to learn how to tank. That's what that's really for. It's chocobo. This is not the moogle we met before. I've caught you at last, you spiteful imp. Now hand over the egg. You can't have it, Kupo. This egg belongs to Lucolo. Who in Hallone's bloody fury are you? Ah, those sops at Bent Branch hired themselves an adventurer, did they? Yet another complication. This farce has gone on long enough. Kill the moogle and the farmer's hireling and bring me that damned egg. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is take care of this guy, because I don't need him healing everyone. And then these two are going to get taken down. I I also don't want them to damage Kuplo too much because Moogles, you know. And he's just trying to protect Leia's egg. He didn't ask for any of this. Ah, he's tougher than he looks. I feel like I'm doing Luis's voice in Encanto. You're winning, Kupo. You'll feel this one, you obstinate cur. Yeah, what are you gonna do to me? I'm waiting. Look out, he's up to something extra nasty, Kupo. Yeah, well, he's not gonna live to finish it. There we go, that was easy. Look at the sunlight. Okay, I took a little sip of my pop. Oh god, I just got rid of you. Go away. Alright. Thank you, Kupo. I like how it has a little stand for the egg to sit in. What's that, Kupo? How did I come to be here? Ah, well, this egg here is Leia's. Leia's a very special chocobo, in case you didn't know. Anyway, I was having a nap in the stables when that nasty fellow crept in and tried to steal it, Kupo. So I snatched it up as quickly as I could and made a run for it. I was planning to take it back to Bent Branch Meadows myself, but it might be safer if you did it. I'm sure Lucolo will be very happy to see you, Kupo. I got this. Okay, so hopefully we can run back and not get attacked by a million things. We've been adventuring through the night. It's morning. I do have the time of they have a nice little thing that lets you see both Eorzea time and oops, I didn't realize I was gonna fall there, but it's fine, even though that dire might attack me. Bye. Both of them are now my ass. It's a good ass, so I can see why, but still. I don't feel like being attacked by dire mites. So I have Eorzea time, which is 7:07, and my actual local time, which is 10:40. There's events. There's a lot of stuff that has to do with time. Like there will be gathering nodes that are only available during certain times of day, so it's very helpful to know when it is and not just like, oh, it's morning, oh, it's noon or whatever. Or things that only happen in certain types of weather, like there's fishing things you can only do. It's amazing, like seriously. I haven't even gotten into stuff like the sightseeing logs. The sightseeing logs depend on certain times of day and certain types of weather as well. There's so much. There's challenge logs. I haven't gotten to those yet. There's so much that you can do in this game. They like literally, they throw so much at you. And you really don't have to deal with any of it if you don't want to. You can just do the main story quest and be done. This person's still here. Do you have the egg? Is it safe? I do have the egg and it is safe. Yes, it has the right coloring, the right weight. It's most definitely Leia's egg. I know not how to thank you. You had me worried for a bit there, Galvin. 'Tis good to see you and the egg back safe and sound. And there was a moogle. So I was correct in my assumption that an Ishgardian was involved, albeit one who did not, in fact, make off with the egg. Well, I could hardly have anticipated the intervention of a moogle. Bugger me, it couldn't be the same one, could it? Might you have encountered our unlikely savior before, Keitha? Could be, aye. One of them saved my hide back when the calamity struck. I was in a part of the woods what we now call the stand and courses that day. Seemed like the whole bleeding forest was ablaze, and I couldn't see a yalm in front of me for all the smoke. Well nigh given up hope I had. Then all of a sudden a moogle appears out of nowhere, tugs at me smoldering sleeve, and leads me straight to a bit of the wood where the fire hadn't taken hold. And now you know why the business is named Moogle's Gift Mounts. Seems the least I could do. I'd be dead if it weren't for that plucky little bugger. Incredible. It may well be that the moogle has stood vigil over us ever since that day. We'd better get back to work then. Wouldn't want to go letting our guardian angel down, would we? Galvin, you have our thanks. Oh, and I believe Lucula wants to give you a little something for your troubles. Oh, hello. Leia's egg is irreplaceable. I cannot well express to you the depth of my gratitude. And yet I find that I am still troubled. While this whole regrettable episode unfolded, I bore witness to a sight that greatly concerned me. Well, I don't need a leather tard, so you get these bronze pieces or tin or silver or occasionally even gold and platinum, and they're good for selling. They're literally money. That's what they are. If the gear is not what you need or can use, or you just don't want to deal with, what is this person doing? Anyway, you just sell those and yeah, they're nice. My thanks for your kindness earlier. I hate to impose again, but I have need of your assistance in another matter. One of grave import, I fear. Of late, I've noticed that XIV dirigibles have been appearing over the Twelveswood with increasing regularity. The frequency, however, does not bother me near so much as where they choose to fly. The patch of sky directly above the guardian tree. The tree is a sacred site, or so I was given to believe when I first came to Gridania, and thus I naturally assumed that the elementals would not suffer the Exalt to profane it. Yet the birdmen have been coming and going as they please, with nary a sign of protest from the guardians of the Twelveswood. And it was that which set me to thinking. Ever since the appearance of this much-talked-about suspicious individual, many and more strange things have been occurring in the forest. Could it be that he did something to the elementals? In case it proved useful, I've committed the details of my sightings to parchment. I would ask that you deliver the document to Mother Mion. Please make all haste. I have an irrepressible feeling that something terrible is about to happen. So perfect. We are going to head back to Gridania. I'm going to take the moogle. I'm going to take the chocobo and ride back rather than... Well, I guess I could just return. I wanted to look at this real quick. This is the little balloon that we saw when Keitha was telling her story. The script is like sort of legible. They use this consistently throughout the game, so you do get used to it. So it's like Moogle's gift mounts. Actually, yeah, I am just going to return. I mean, why bother? It's a stretch. Oh, I've been sitting in one position for way too long. Okay. Oh, there's a concert or something happening here. This is all definitely done via third-party mods. I'm just trying to see if I recognize the... I don't. I wish I did, but I don't. But I really love how as I'm turning around, I can hear the they do the music so, or any sounds really, so you can kind of shift around and get it from a different angle. So like if my quote unquote camera is closer to the, it's like surround sound, I guess, sort of, but it's more like adjustable. I don't know. I'm sure that there's a term for it, but I don't know what it is. Why is this guy in crafting gear running around here? Oh, that's not crafting gear. I'm not used to the oh my god, the Rogadin male starting gear. They sure do show a lot of skin. Well, you made short work of those targets, I must say. It seems you've learned to seek your prey without being preyed upon. Let's continue then. I have a mind to give you more practical experience, and we've received a request just recently which I think will provide the perfect opportunity. It seems tree slugs and vultures have been congregating in ever-increasing numbers in the vicinity of the honey yard, causing no end of trouble for the locals. We've been tasked with culling the beasts. This request comes direct from Stillglade Fane. When the wood whalers and the gods' quiver cannot spare the forces to attend to such matters, the conjurers often turn to us for help. And before you ask, there's good reason why they would rather not see to this particular task themselves. The creatures in question possess abilities which can cause problems for the magically inclined. But that's quite enough about conjurers' troubles. Lucienne taught you how to discern an enemy's key traits, did she not? Well, now you'll need to do so while maintaining situational awareness, lest you be overrun. Consider this a comprehensive review of her lessons and mine own. Your orders are as follows. Head out into the East Shroud, and there put down 8 tree slugs and 8 vultures, using all of your skills as an archer. Good hunting, Galvin. I love seeing brand new characters. Like, what people have put together for their characters is always fascinating to me. So the East Shroud is kind of a pain in the ass to get to. But I am going to go do this first, because I want to get, like, one thing out of the way. My God, I'm always so behind on these. We're going to go to the Blue Gadget Gate, and then we have to go to the East Shroud. There's a lot of running around. Someday I will have a mount, and I won't have to deal with this. I just like to keep up with the... Come on, let me through. Thank you. Jeez. I just like to keep up with the class quests while I can. So this time, instead of heading towards Lifemen's Stump, which is off that way behind that waterfall, we're going to go across this bridge. Actually, we're just going to go across the river because we don't need to cross the bridge. We're on foot. We're fine. And then we'll head this way, where we have not been before. And this will take us into the East Shroud, which is another section of the 12's Wood. So it's not an open world. As you can see, we have different areas separated off just because they're too big to be loaded in easily enough alone. And sometimes when I come in here, it's really nice because there's a fate that spawns right around this area with vultures, so I can just pick off all the vultures I need while I'm doing that. But I'm not so fortunate at this particular moment, and I have to kill. Oh, come on! I thought I'd targeted. I guess I had not. So I can get everything at once without having to wander around, but that's probably not going to be the... Well, you never know. Anyway. As you can see, this is not going to take very long to do. There's a couple more over here. And then the other ones will start respawning almost right away, so... I am not in a harm of running out of targets. Although I am going to, I still want to try and avoid the mechanic, because I don't want to get out of the habit of that. I've started kind of ignoring some of them when I'm playing on my, I'm playing Takia, and because I've been working on tanking with him. And so he has, you know, stronger armor, so I don't always have to worry about the effects of whatever, whatever thing they're doing is quite as much, but... yeah, I don't want to get out of the habit of paying attention to mechanics. So, we have another nice little area. The Hawthorne hut is over in that direction. You can even see the roof of the hut that gives the place its name from here. And I'm going to head over in that direction anyway because I want to get the Aetheryte and the... Not the Mandragora. I don't want to hit the Mandragora. I want to get the Aetheryte and the chocobo person, chocobo handler, keeper, whatever. The chocobo point, basically. Now this is a level 10 quest, so it's kind of annoying that they send you out to kill stuff that's a little bit higher than your level, but generally it's not too tough to take care of, even when you're slightly underleveled. which is never a concern anymore. Never, ever going to be a concern again. There's also a variety of new enemies in this area. As you can see, we've got some goblin hunters over there, but they are non-aggressive. As you can tell by the fact that they have like little blue faces next to their nameplate. The red triangle with the yellow face in front of it means that they are aggressive, so all these vultures want to come and eat me. But I don't want them to eat me, so I'm not going to let them eat me. And there's lemurs, and there's weevils, and yeah, they're boring. They're boring weevils. They're so boring. Boring. These will also be on my, these like the lemurs and weevils and stuff will be on my hunting log when I get through the first rank of that, which I really should do at some point, but I might do off camera just because it's like, oh, kill a bunch of stuff. Aren't you tired of seeing me kill a bunch of stuff already? I'm not done? I still have to kill one more. Okay, let me go find one more. This person is doing some gathering. There's a couple more. Okay. Okay, so that's taken care of, and now I'm just going to go on and get this real quick. I don't really need, I'm not going to be back here for a little while yet, but I still like having the locations, so that when I do come out here, I'm all prepared. It's just nice to be able to transport to areas quickly. There's the chocobo keep. Nothing. And since I am not I can go back to Gridania from here, yeah. The cooldown isn't finished on my return spell yet, so I'm just gonna do this. I cannot direct the chocobo. All you can do is ride it. The camera doesn't even stay behind you. The music is weirdly quiet. I don't know why. I didn't think I'd turned it down that much. But it's like a Wild West version of the chocobo theme from all the Final Fantasy games. Huh, I wonder if I've done something with that. Yeah, now you can hear it. I haven't done anything. Oh, there's that archer I just saw. Excuse you, sir. Did you have to kill that squirrel right in front of me? And what was that squirrel doing to you anyway? Okay, well, I think I'm going to go turn in the quest to Lee and then call it, because the next part of the main scenario quest is going to be more involved and will probably be the next whole episode. So I'll just run around and run along and do that. I really do love the music in this game. Just every city theme, every Every little bit that you hear has been so carefully crafted, and it evokes the feeling of being there. I can't explain it. Judging by your smug expression, I'd say you've acquired a feel for maneuvering to exploit enemy weaknesses whilst covering your own. Vultures are wont to keep their opponents at wing's length, and their attacks will send you flying. The solution to this is simple: maneuver to the rear. Tree slugs, on the other hand, have an annoying knack of disrupting spellcasting with their secretions. As such, you would do well to keep the creatures away from any mages in your party. Needless to say, good positioning is the key to success in battle, which is why it's absolutely essential that you know your target's traits. The knowing of these traits is a fundamental part of hunting. Before the Keepers of the Moon conceived of archery, they dwelt not in the city, but in the forest. For my people, hunting was a way of life. In hindsight, I suppose this is more or less on hunting than on archery. Lucienne knows well my past, so mayhap that was her intent. Hunting, too, is an art. Before I came to Gridania, I never gave it much thought. But the more I think of home, the more I begin to realize... Forgive me, I'm not usually given to fits of sentiment, truly. Forget I said anything. But do not forget that a hunter must recognize his prey's weakness and strike swiftly when the opportunity presents itself. That concludes the lesson. Now I suggest you pay Lucienne a visit. She is doubtless eager to hear from you. It is good to see you, Galvin. I hope you've learned much from Lee. You, adventurer, is it true? Are you the one who slew the tree slugs and vultures? Yeah. How dare she entrust the security of our people to the hands of a stranger? I knew Mikote were reckless, but she is downright irresponsible. Shame on her. Did I not warn you that it was folly to suffer that woman's presence in our guild, Lucienne? Every time she wastes an arrow on game, she drags our noble art back into the darkness. Aye, and this boy, too. He is an embarrassment to us all. That is quite enough, Silver. Your skill with the bow is undeniable, as is your love for our nation. Yet there is much and more you have yet to learn about archery. Galvin has matured greatly in the short time that he has been with us. You know this to be true. Dots. I suggest you come to terms with Galvin's presence here. You will be giving him his next lesson, after all. Unless, of course, you have any objections. Good. As for you, Galvin, I would have you devote yourself wholly to training ahead of your lesson with Silver. Suffice it to say, he will not be an easy instructor to impress. On that we can agree. Before you take your leave, there is something I would tell you. You are as dedicated a student as has ever set foot in these halls. In recognition of your fervor for learning, I hereby grant you permission to join the other guilds. Naturally, you will need to obtain the express permission of the relevant guildmaster, but I doubt that anyone will refuse one such as you. In Gridania, you will find guilds representing lancers, conjurers, leatherworkers, carpenters, and botanists. You are free to seek membership in any that piques your interest. I ask that you keep but one thing in mind. Although there is merit in exploring new avenues, there is also virtue in pursuing a single discipline with all one's heart. The decision is ultimately yours to make. Whichever path you take, be it that of the bow or no, I shall follow your progress with interest, for in you I see the makings of greatness. The armory system at last. Okay, so what this means, essentially, is that I can now do other jobs. And this is really where the heart of Final Fantasy XIV lies, I believe. Gear sets are now available. So I can set up a gear set specifically for archery, which will then later become bard. I can take other classes and jobs. All of them, in fact. You can be everything. Not all at the same time, but as long as you have, and it all depends on the weapon. As long as you've unlocked the job or the class, you can move up in it. You can level it separately, or I could switch over to another class right now and I'd have to level up to the point where I am to take on the main scenario quests. But, God, I was just like, what did I just say just there? And it just froze me for a second. I can do anything I can move over to being a dragoon or whatever. Some you can't take until you're a certain level. Like Dancer, you can't unlock until level 60. Gunbreaker, you can't lock until level 60. Dark Knight's at 30. Rogue, you have to be at least level 10. For it's Rogue is a whole weird thing all its own. Machinist is also 30, or Machinist rather. Red Mage is level 50. Blue Mage is actually level 0. Blue Mage is a weird job that I still don't fully understand. Sage is 70. Sage was just introduced along with Reaper in the most recent expansion. Astrologian is also level 30. Although you cannot actually get it until you're level 50, so it's kind of weird that way. You get it at level 50, but then you actually start leveling it at level 30. And that's the same thing for Machinist and Dark Knight. And then Samurai, which is another one I love, you get at level 50. And I think that actually, like, you start leveling it at level 50. And with Red Mage as well. But yes, so you can have different gear sets for all of these. And these aren't the only ones. You can also do all of the crafting, all of the gathering. You don't have to just pick one. And in fact, a lot of the Disciples of the Hand, which are considered to be tradecraft, interlock with each other. So there's things that you require ingredients that you can make with the other classes, or you can buy them off the market board, which we'll get introduced to later on. But it's often easier to just make it yourself. It's cheaper. And the gathering all feeds into that. Fisher is kind of its own thing, but Fisher kind of feeds into culinary a little bit. There's some things that you can use for alchemy. But basically, yeah, you can do everything. And that is the true appeal, I think, of this game. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and call this episode here since I've just been rambling for a few minutes, and I want to get to the next stuff soon. But yeah, so thank you for coming along with me on this adventure, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.